Joseph, Mary, I have come to ask your permission to take Jesus to Damascus with my caravan, which will leave soon. He will learn much by partaking in the rituals of the great temple in Damascus and listening to the wisdom of the elder rabbi, whose knowledge of the Torah and Kabbalah is unsurpassed.
Amariah and Talcott stood silently before their tent, wondering what experiences traveling with the Joseph of Arimathea caravan into the unknown would bring.
As the proconsul of Rome, I am in charge of managing the querulous population of Judea. I know taxes collected by your men include a large amount which they keep for their personal gain.
Thaddeus leads a group of Essenes back to Engadi, hoping the Zealot group, which means to harm them, will not follow because of the brutal conditions at the Salt Sea this time of year. Herod must keep a balancing act between Roman law and the messianic furor fanned by rebellious Zealot factions. His rule is harsh, and he taxes citizens heavily to support his building mania. Pontius Pilate was an unpopular prefect appointed by his superior to political office in Judea. He is an arrogant aristocrat well known for his cruelty. He feels this post in a backward country in the middle of a lifeless desert is beneath him. Shirin is without parents. Amariah takes her to Engadi, where she joins many other orphans. When Shirin comes of age, Jesus intends to marry her. Rabbis married and had children as part of their priestly responsibilities. She turned her face toward the young man who addressed her. Shirin was surprised anyone would have enough interest in her to ask her name.
My name is Shirin. It means star in the language of the Persians.
It is a beautiful name. Where are your parents?
Jesus asked because no one came to see why a stranger was conversing with this young girl.
I came with my uncle and cousins to help manage the sheep and goats that uncle brings to the market. They are busy at the pens with the animals on the far side.
Calix is a holy man who lives in an isolated monastery hidden in the jungles of India. His fellow seer, Chilena, will guide those who travel with Jesus to meet him. The return trip will be dangerous because the Dark Brotherhood is threatened by Jesus' growing abilities.
Jesus, through the power of your own thought, you will be able to bring forth what it is you wish to accomplish. This force is within you now. Just as the mustard seed, the smallest of seeds, knows it will grow into a strong stalk where birds will roost in the branches, so it is with man.
The holy man from the Himalayan mountains whispered to Balthazar,
"The opening to the trail leading to the heart of the mountain where the High Lama wishes to meet you is not far away. Will you come with me?"
Amariah's dog, Damascus, circled the priestesses. His pace was anxious. He kept looking at Amariah, waiting for her command. He seemed able to sense the anxiety which suddenly gripped the entire caravan.
The guide is going to take you to the place where the path to the heart of the mountain begins. Balthazar is waiting there to guide everyone to the cleft in the rocks. The other side of the mountain opens into a vast valley where there is pure water and plenty of grass for the animals.
An old woman known as the Watcher for ability to see into the future greeted Amariah and Talcott at the tent opening. Amariah joined Talcott at the opening to the tent. Both priestesses stood still as statues, holding hands, trying desperately to quiet the thoughts rising like the tide along their spines. A flash of lightning, the first of the storm, pulsed at the opening of the tent, and thunder cracked, shaking the ground.
I will put my arm around you and pull you closer. We have a responsibility to watch over one another. We are watchers, all of us. We guard against the darkness which threatens to claim us.
Sadu was a man of mystery. He said little and absorbed everything. There were rumors he could walk above the ground, his feet never touching the earth. Jesus sought the advice of this mysterious man.
My love for Shirin has grown and I want to marry her. I will submit to the wisdom of sages which are more knowledgeable than I. The wisdom of my elders is valued above all.
The caravan halted, waiting for Balthazar and Marcus to come to the fork in the road. The path leading to the hidden temple could only be seen for a short distance, before it disappeared into a wall of green so thick it seemed as if there was no way through it.
Ardashir stared off into space, struggling to put the feelings and emotions into words Amariah would understand.
I was impressed by the way Jesus spoke to the young men who lived with him at Engadi and travel with him on this journey. He is particularly close to his brother, James. I envied the way he and James always seem to know what the other is thinking. Since I have neither brother nor sister, the way they interact with each other is inspiring. I confess to longing for that kind of relationship with someone.
The Essenes at Qumran were the foremost scholars of the movement of the stars. They knew what it meant when planets were close to each other, and how it affected mankind when they moved apart.
How do you know the little boy running around the compound kicking a ball with his friends is this prophesied king?
Because the planets and stars proclaimed his birth.
Help me understand how a star can guide men who live in Babylon across miles of desolate desert to a small town in Judea.
Nothing is impossible when God guides your footsteps. Essenes believe the one to come will bring a message of hope and compassion. Our God does not condemn us for weakness. Our God affords mankind unending chances to befriend enemies and love all who travel the wheel of life with them.
I assume you are traveling with the caravan of Joseph of Arimathea. I witnessed the miracle which just happened, and I seek to know who you are and what you represent.
Amuz is a wealthy rug vendor from Persia. He sat in this chair amid his rugs for several years, waiting and watching for a special spirit as holy men said would be born somewhere in Galilee.
We have comfortable quarters at the caravanserai near the outer wall. We travel east with the Arimathea caravan and are accompanied by Prince Balthazar Khepri of Egypt. We are no strangers to caravan travel.
Have you been to the east? Were you with the Khepri caravan, which traveled all the way into the land of Chin seeking information, protected by sages and wise men for centuries after the purpose it served?
You know of the Khepri caravan and the purpose it served.
I do, lady. Not much happens in the caravan world that does not reach the long ears of a Damascus trader. Did you find what you were seeking?
Thutmose was known throughout the Roman Empire as simply the Egyptian. He was a zealot whose sole objective was to rid the entire country of the Romans.
So, what brings you to our outpost at this end of the world? Is Pharaoh well?
Pharaoh is well. He will probably live another 50 years.
Thutmose, why are you here? Word will have reached the garrison of the Antonia fortress that you made the descent into the valley of the Salt Sea. A Roman centurion will be at our gate in a day asking why the famous Egyptian came to Engadi.
A caravan through the Himalayan mountains experienced many dangers. Snow and ice covered narrow trails, making the sure-footed back-trained camels a necessity. Bitter cold was the enemy of travel through these perilous mountains. Only the brave and dedicated dare cross continents in search of the one to come.